He's 54. 54. And he believes that women over the age of 30 are basically expired.
Well, in my experience with women, they pretty much all the same. So I'd rather just have a newer model. I'd rather drive the 2026 than the 89 Buick.
So this fine specimen of a man appeared on the Kendra G Singles live show. I caught it on Instagram, at least a portion of it, before I decided that this was something I was going to react to. And let's just say it was interesting. Now, I didn't watch the snippet in its entirety because I just wanted to react as I usually do in real time so you get my real emotions. So we're going to jump into that. My name is Rogan. This is the This Baby Gal podcast. On my platform, I do social commentary and reaction videos. I encourage my audience to have private conversations in public. If you are listening to the audio podcast, still listen, but I need you to do me this favor. I need you to go on over to YouTube or Rumble. I need you to watch this video. You have to watch this one. So let's go.
How old are you?
I am 54.
Okay. Where are you calling me from?
I am in Thailand.
Is that where you live?
No, I live in Philadelphia.
I put in the comment section that the minute he said Thailand, my left eyebrow hit my hairline. Okay. Y'all know why.
And I like younger girls. Like
How much younger? You're 54.
I like between 20 and 30.
20 and 30?
Yes.
So a 20-year-old is 34 years younger than you.
Yeah.
Why would you want a girl 34 years younger than you?
Well, in my experience with women, they pretty much all the same. So I'd rather just have a newer model. I'm gonna be dealing with the same issues. You know what I mean? I'd rather drive the 20.
So he's equating women to like cars or refrigerators. He needs a newer model. Meantime, he looking like the ancient model. What? Okay, let me just finish. Let me finish.
I'd rather drive the 2026 than the 89 Buick.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Last night.
Of course.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I'd go get her. She right there in the other room.
No, is she really?
She really.
Hi.
You asked about finances, and I'm not saying, I'm Bill Gates and I'm okay, but 2% of men in North America make over $300,000. I am in the 2 percentile. Listen, women's...
Stop. Drop. Shut him down. Open up shop. Now I'm going to say something that is going to be very... Y'all gonna get mad because I'm going to be a little petty here. You in the 2 percentile of people making over 300K in this country, the United States, that is. And you couldn't take some of that money to fix your teeth? No, not teeth. I have teeth. You, Mary, you have teeth. Yesenia, you have teeth. John, you have teeth. Sean, you have teeth. Sophie, you have teeth. Kenya, you have teeth. He got teeth. Or even worse, teeth. I'm going to stop right there because you in the 2 percentile and that wasn't your priority to fix your mouth? You got your grill looking like that? Yes, I am going to be very petty about this. And you know what? If he weren't on here bragging about his money and bragging about upgrading to a newer model, I probably would have never said anything about his teeth. But you want to upgrade, but you ain't upgrading your mouth? Let's go.
Listen, women's value in the sexual marketplace, and you know this, shout out to rest in peace Kevin Samuels, from 18 to 28. After that, men rise and women go down.
Sir. Respectfully so. You have to pay for sex. There's no woman that is willingly having sex with you because she finds you sexually attractive. Without the income that you have stated several times, you would not be able to get this woman. And also, while you are paying to have sex with her, guess what she's doing? Having great sex with a younger broker guy. So I don't know what flex you think you're doing when you say, hold on, when you start when you talk, hold on, when you talked, I let you speak. Now it is my turn. So since all the men want to talk so much about women when they get older, let's break this down. Also, there's a lot of men who are your age who can't even sexually perform. So we're not even talking about a sexually market value. You can't even show up to the market because some of you without a pill, hold on, without a pill, you can't even rise to the occasion. So you can have your thoughts and you can feel that way, but you're 54 years old on my dating show looking for a woman 20 years old, and you have to mention that you make $300,000 or more a year just to entice her, because she's looking at you right now wondering if she wants to be next to you.
That was a read down. And he's so damn goofy. He like, but she's right. You have a lot of these guys. I'll link it down below so you guys can watch. This is going to be a very quick reaction, okay? But a lot of these guys, they lead with their money. And I've heard women, and I'm one of them, I hated at the time, like when I was in my 20s, and guys used to just come on the scene, and the first thing they talking about is how much money they have. Is so tacky. I got money too, boo. I don't need your money. But it's so tacky. It's so tacky. And when you use cheddar as the bait, you're going to recruit the rats. And she's absolutely correct. The minute he said Thailand, I said, You had to go over there. And it's so unfortunate, right? Because like sex tourism is high over in Thailand. He's like, oh, I just had sex last night. Yeah, because who in Philadelphia was willing to do the jungle munga with you? And, if he had just come on here and said, I had difficulty finding a woman in the States or whatever. I know I'm not the most attractive guy, but I've got a great personality, and I'm fun to be around. But the women just, they took one look at me. They weren't feeling me. It was during travels abroad that I started meeting women. And you know what? I'm just content because they're willing to look into my heart more than anything. I mean, y'all might still say, yeah, they want the money. But, if he said that, but it's like, oh, I have to upgrade to a newer model. And no disrespect, but a lot of these guys go overseas and they're not using like protection. And the people who they're having, intercourse with, they're not using protection either. So you going abroad to go get a newer model, and what you bringing back stateside? What you bringing? What package you bringing back with you? Or if you ain't carry it over there, And again, he's not even an attractive man. So he has to, she read him down for filth. And you know what's crazy to me? You have guys like this talking about trading in women for a newer model. I wonder how he feels about his mother. Is his mother like an old model now that she's over 30? How would he feel if someone said that about his mother? And a lot of these guys too, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch like social media and these fellas are talking about women being past their prime and stuff, if you look at a lot of them, they look a mess. They look like they're 13, 14 months pregnant, bare belly out to here, just carrying all their weight right here. They done lost a couple teeth, looking like Pigpen from Charlie Brown. These men don't look nice. These men aren't in their prime. They don't look sexy. And they think it's okay because, like he said, like their value goes on what? No, maybe your finances improve. Maybe your finances got better. A lot of men like this, they don't want someone their age. They don't want parity. They don't want somebody who's going to hold them to the mat, because they know women aren't going to like tolerate someone who's like in their 40s and 50s and almost 60s aren't going to tolerate that. They're not going to tolerate him. And for a lot of these men, it's like about manipulation and control. So you go into a country where there's, the people don't have a lot of money, and then you're flaunting your US dollars and you're taking advantage of them because they're poor and they're going to be your fantasy girl. And she is absolutely right, because I've seen a lot of shows, enough videos where the girls will take these American guys' money. It not only happens in like Thailand, it happens in the Dominican Republic, it happens in the Caribbean, it happens a lot of places. And they'll still go and be with the man who, does it for them. This is transactional, sir. This is not love. And he said he's not the richest. He's not Bill Gates. You better believe it. And the minute somebody else who is richer comes along, she's going to upgrade to a better model. But he just looks so crazy. And then a lot of these men too, they're wanting validation from youth. Like to be able to say, I pulled a young girl. Look at this girl. She's so fine. She's in her 20s. Tatas up, booty up. Everything looks good. And they end up looking older, these men, because they're like walking alongside someone who's in their 20s. It's like, you look like the father. And this is no diss and no insult to anybody who is in a May-December relationship. But I'm saying if you just fell in love with someone because, you know, for whatever reason, and they just happen to be young, all right, cool. But if you're talking about, oh, I'm almost 60 and I want to be the 20-year-old, you are going to look kind of weird because you are older. You see, this is what happens when money meets imagination. He must think he's got it going on. He's 54, well off and delusional. And a lot of these men too, and I don't want this to come across like a male bashing session, right? But we do have men who are like this. You know, they always kind of, it's almost like they want children. And I know a 20-year-old or 30-year-old is a woman technically, but it's like you're 70 and 80 years old and you're looking for a 20-year-old. You're 60 years old and you want a 19-year-old. It's just kind of weird. It's just weird to me. And he's goofy as hell. You see him just keep kind of like doing the thumbs up, and it's like you over in the corner just, oh, I just had sex last night. I'm sure you did because you paid for it. You paid for it. A lot of these men, it's like they don't want a gold digger, but they lead with their money. I remember being in my 20s and guys would do that. Like, you'd be like, how are you doing? Oh, I'm just so exhausted, just running multiple businesses and, the money doesn't make itself. I'm just, last year I cleared XYZ amount and bruh, I ask you how you doing. Where all this come from? When you use cheddar as the bait, you recruit the rat. So these guys will say, oh, I don't want anybody who just wants me for my money, just, trying to use me for my money. But you put your money, front and center for them. And it's sad. I actually feel sorry for the girls, to be honest with you. When these people go into these countries for sex tourism, I feel sorry for the girls because it's like a lot of them in the position where they kind of have to do this. He looked musty. I wouldn't want this man on top of me. I'm just saying. Y'all could tell me how y'all feel. Well, one of my favorite things to do is to read the comments. So there are people who went off on this guy. So let's just read some of what they said. This commenter said, 54, unmarried, paying for prostitution in Thailand, wants a 20-year-old. Where is Chris Hansen? This next person said, baby, class was in session, but the real gag is women 30 plus would know he ain't worth a minute of the trouble. That's why he booked a flight out. Another commenter said, one word, predator. Another person said, in Thailand, probably breaking the law with young girls or lady boys. Okay. Someone else said, everyone is entitled to like what they like, but I love grown women. I always thought it was weird for an older man to intentionally seek out young, not younger women. And I can guarantee you 20 is not his threshold. If he could have his way with a teenage girl, he would. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. He kind of gives that vibe. I'm not gonna lie. He gives that vibe. I don't know him, but he gives that vibe. Someone said, I would love not looking at him. Another person said, it's the delusion for me. It was the delusion for me. That's exactly, I was like, okay. Next person said, the teeth and hair told me everything I need to know. Another commenter said, we don't want him. And I like this one said, y'all move, I got it. And they got a cinder block. A brick. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, he set himself up with that. And my thing is, if you're all the way in Thailand and you have the girl of your dreams, why are you on this dating show back here in America? Like, what are you calling in for? Be happy and stay over there and leave the expired women to somebody else. It's bad. The delusion is strong.
Love me or hate me.